Morning guys, Dave from Pegasus. So Saturday's racing went nowhere near as well as I'd hoped. Off the back of the dosage trends analysis, obviously picked Royal Pagoi for the first time in its career at A. It ran an absolute stinker. Um, Charlie Deutsch couldn't really seem to get the horse settled. It was a bit all over the place. Cracked a couple of fences as well, and yeah, ended up getting pulled up. So I couldn't really have foreseen that. I don't think I would have picked a different horse if I was to assess the race again. What was interesting is the sort of outside chance that was given to the top scorer, Richmond Lake. Now, I couldn't see many of the mainstream giving this horse a squeak. There was a couple of mentions saying that it could run well, but there was no one tipping it up or anything like that. And yeah, it's easy to say after the event, but these are the kind of horses that these dosage trends can unearth. Certainly at certain courses, on certain types of races, you'd be surprised once you start looking at this stuff a little bit more. So I'll maybe do another couple of them. They are quite time consuming, but I want to really try and highlight it in bigger field races because that's where you can dig out some really decent price horses because not a lot of people are looking at this sort of angle, and certainly not the people who are pricing the races up. A lot of your sort of mainstream tipsters aren't looking at this sort of angle because it is really time consuming. So yeah, sometimes you can unearth a little gem that's been totally missed. So I'd highly encourage anybody who's sort of diligent and perhaps find that interesting to do a little bit more research and maybe try and pick up the process yourself. Anyway, right, second horse, Barry Hill, ran a solid race. I thought my first impressions when I was watching the race was that maybe the jockey left things a little bit too late on the horse, and but actually rewatching the race again, I thought the Twiston Davies horse actually when he saw Barry Hill coming up the back of him, it found a little bit more, didn't it? So I think it was probably value for more than the length in the end as well. That Twiston Davies horse. So wasn't too disappointed with that run. I think the horse we'll still get some wins out of that horse, and I'll be keen to follow it um, over those sort of trips. But yeah, about a point and a half down, guys, just a little bit over, and there's a rule 4 in that race as well. So, can I get a winner today at Windsor? I like this 2:30 race. It is a competitive handicap. I'm sort of digging myself a bit of a hole with these sort of races recently, but yeah, I really like Hermino AA. I think it's massively overpriced. I really do. There are some interesting horses in this nearer the head of the market. Jip Cut won just over 6 lengths last time after wind surgery, stepping up in trip today, £8 higher in the handicap. Look, could be a bit of a blot. Who knows? I think 4 to 1 short enough. If in fact I think it's too short. There's still some question marks with this horse, so yeah, I wouldn't be keen to take a short price not in a race like this. Manila Missile's interesting, so won a Grade 2 novice hurdle at Cheltenham in November 23. Now, this is only its third run under rules. It's had a couple of point-to-point wins as well. This is a really, I, I want to see how this horse runs. I'm just a little bit concerned as to why it's been off the race course for so long. I can't find any information out. I don't know if the horse has been injured. There's got to have been some issues with the horse. So you're taking quite a short price at 5 to 1 on whether it retains any of the ability it's shown in these previous 2 runs here in this maiden and this novice hurdle. If it does, if it's still got that ability, it's got every reason to head the market here. And yeah, Gwenny Made Boy. This one used to be with John Joe O'Neill a couple of years ago, and yeah, moved over to Dan Skelton. Got some solid form. 3 wins straight off the cuff. Moving to Dan Skelton. It's shot. Excuse me. It shot up the handicap as a result though, and I'm just sort of wondering. This was another solid race at Carlisle last month, but I'm just starting to wonder. We put up another £2 for that. Is this horse starting has it got much more in the locker? Is what I'm thinking. And yeah, I'm not too sure on that one. Push the button. Yeah, again, got bags of potential here. Loads of room to improve. Like this run at Cheltenham, first time out in October. The race isn't working out massively well off the back of it, but yeah, it was still a good run. Staying on nicely at the finish. Did pull up, and run a bit of a stinker at Haydock. So there's a few question marks with this one as well. Gitmaker's entered into a race at Doncaster next Saturday. That's over fences. Hasn't run over hurdles for quite a while. Is returning off a break. Wouldn't let that put you off. If you did fancy the horse, but the fact that it's over hurdles and not fences, and that race at Doncaster next weekend, it was just in my head. Are they using this as a little bit of a prep run? And going to be turning up at Doncaster next weekend. I mean, this is a decent prize. I think the Doncaster race is closer to 60k. Um, it's about £6 lower than its chase mark. So yeah, look, it could run a big race. Titan Discovery, yeah, it's another one. I'm not 100% sure that this is very well handicapped at all. It could go and blow the field away tomorrow, but yeah, I just wasn't convinced that this is all that well handicapped. Now I'll finally get on to Hermino AA. Why do I like this horse? This horse has got some really good form in the book. I can't understand how it's 16 to 1. Um, it is top weight. Um, is the highest rated in the field. It's got Freddie Mitchell claiming 5. Now it's got bits and pieces of form. So the first run this term at Newbury, won this race nicely. Woody Flash was in this. He got some decent yardsticks in behind. Now, granted, a couple of these are more chasers than they are hurdlers, so they're probably just blowing the cobwebs away, if you like, and using this as a bit of a prep match for going over fences for the rest of the season. But there are a few decent hurdlers in there as well. Won this race nicely. Was probably value for more. Woody Flash came out next time, um, and yeah, won again. Beat Tune in the Box at Chepstow. Had Dan's Levant back in third that day. Beat that horse quite comfortably, giving it weight. Dan's Levant sort of lines up here, and it's a shorter price than Hermino AA. And as I say, Hermino AA beat Woody Flash quite comfortably, giving it £5 as well. That's after taking Freddie Mitchell's claim into account. So yeah, I thought the price is definitely between Dan's Levant and Hermino AA based on that run. That collateral form was way out. Um, it's raced in this race at Kempton last time out. Now it had the reopposing Samuel Spade, um, way ahead of it, 12 lengths ahead of it, but the ground was too quick for it on this day. The trip too short, and I thought this was a creditable run all the same. Again, had some decent yardsticks in behind, finished fourth. It's it. I don't see any negatives in that form, given that it wasn't the horse's ideal conditions. Now, going back to this race at Sandown in February last year, this was a good piece of form, I thought. St Davies now rated 137. Um, yeah, that was a good piece of form. Where's the other one? This race at Cheltenham as well. Some decent horses in this, finished third in this. Michael 129. It actually raced against Gwenny May Boy. Now, I'm not saying Gwenny May Boy's this was its you know this was its true running, beaten 31 lengths by Hermina AA, but this sort of form is solid enough. And look at the horse that was just behind. It's now rated 144. It's a really good horse. Um, it's got bits and bobs of form, back form as well, that just make it too. It's too big a price against some of these other horses. And I get the fact that it can throw in the odd stinker, but just taking it on bare form, I can't see anything wrong with conditions, distance, etc., etc. The course shouldn't be a problem either. And yeah, I mean, even the Samuel Spade probably needs good ground. Um, might be a little bit too much dig in the ground for it today. In Excelsius Dio, why that's shorter than Hermino AA, I've no idea. It's dropping back to hurdles. We backed this one last time out. It's been running absolutely shocking, to be honest. Ran a solid race at Cheltenham in the spring, but it's been running shocking. They're trying it over hurdles again. It hasn't run over hurdles for God knows how long. Um, right back from when it was in France or wherever that is. It's yeah. Why that's 12 to 1, I can't work out. Deep Cave, I'm not too worried about that horse. Yeah, and I've been through the rest of the field, guys. It's in my book, this should be no more than a 7 to 1 shot and an 8 to 1 shot, and it's we're getting 16 to 1 pretty much across the board. Four places being paid. It could run an absolute stinker and finish dead last, but given everything, and I've been through this race with a fine tooth comb, there's plenty of question marks with some of these others, and they're a lot shorter priced, and there's some price disparities that shouldn't really be the case. We shouldn't be getting 5 points more for than what's on offer for Don's Levant, in my opinion. Um, and yeah, even Gwenny May Boy down there at 6 to 1, and we're getting 10 points more. The horse has beat it before now. Granted, a couple of years ago, it is different terms, but um, yeah, I think we've got a bit of value here. So that's the one I'm going to go with. I appreciate this video has been a little bit long-winded, but I just wanted to sort of give my reasoning here. And yeah, hopefully we can get a good run out of this horse tomorrow. So I'm going to say a point each way. I do like the each way option because there are a couple in here that I think have got solid chances. But yeah, point each way, four places, 16 to 1 on offer. I think it's a cracking price. Best of luck if you follow me in, guys. Best of luck with your own bets. I'll be back if there's anything for Monday, probably tonight now. But yeah, thanks again.